Are they real? Well, they're certainly real to him when he sees them. Are they really real? Who knows? I can't help smiling because I think that's all part of the connivance of the film. This is what happens to us when we speak about horror movies or vampire movies. They're speaking about terrible things, possibilities, but at the same time, we sort of smile knowingly that, yes, of course, and particularly in this movie when this most suffering, dreadfully disintegrating man, yeah, the disintegration of the human personality, when we're seeing that in front of us, just as we saw the disintegration in the previous films. This is the disintegration period of film and of the main characters that Bergman's going through. Well, even when you're watching that, in The Hour of the Wolf, there tends at many times to be a smile on your face. You recognize them. You almost feel like saying, "Hi, Dracula." And Bergman does some outrageous things in it, of course.
Which were your greatest cinematic experience as a child?
I think that was my my first projection machine. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it as a Christmas present, and it was a very small one. It was not electric. It was with photogen. With the light was.
With kerosene. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and. Was only a very small film in it, just a round one, about 3 meters long, and the name of it was Frau Holle, and today I don't know why the name was Frau Holle, because it was a young lady sitting on a meadow. The color of the picture was brown, you know, if you as you remember.
The sepia.
Yes, yes, sepia. And she was asleep. She wake up, and she was dancing around a little and out to the left. And then, you know, it started again and again and again. That is my my most tremendous, enormous cinematic experience, because I was so fascinated. From that moment, I was so fascinated by the movement itself, if you understand what I mean, that I could make her move. If I made it slow, she moved very, very slow, and if I made this fast, she was dancing very fast and out. And even today, when I sit with an editing table, you know, with editing my pictures, I can sit and find it extremely fascinating, extremely, just the magic of the movements, the shadow on my little screen, the shadows, moving shadows on the screen is still exactly the same very childish fascination.
It's strange to see that film nowadays because it's so long ago. But what I find interesting also to see that all the actors there are mainly, at that time, stage actors. And that had influenced the acting a little bit. Yeah, I think in a very positive way, because it is a little bit brave, a little bit more expressive.
You know, there are two kinds of actors, or maybe three. One is the real Stanislavski one, and where you go the whole day and you go home and you are the character, you know. That's not for me. And then there's a character where they are masked, you know, they do all this so you can hardly recognize them. And then they're kind of actor that I am, that I'm using myself, what I know of this emotion. And sometimes I may not even know the emotion, but reading the script and my fantasy starts going, I start to feel the emotion or something like the emotion. And I allow it to come through my face and through my body. I allow things to happen with me, but it's always through me. It's always using leave to be the character. I must know the feeling. I cannot invent the feeling. But I have such a lot of fantasy. So in whatever situation I am, if I want to, I can allow it to kind of come through me, and it can be shown. And I'm not scared of the camera. On the contrary, I'm much more scared with the person, if I'm to look at the person. But if I know there is a camera, the camera just makes me calm and fine, because I know that camera, if I'm truthful enough, that camera will also observe the truth in me.
I didn't like very much to make films. I think it was very funny to be in the studio, but shooting there I thought was difficult because it was so many materials and technical things, other people, and I tried to be not be aware of that there was a camera on my and live in the part and so on. And suddenly I can point out the moment when I felt that the camera is an erotic thing. You have to fall in love with it. You have to persuade it. And you have to be in competition with others about close-ups. So after that moment, I found it very, very, very nice and interesting to make films. So I mixed more theater and film after that.
Jeg mener at om jeg hadde elsket ham mindre og ikke brytt meg så mye om alt det der som fanns ikring ham, hadde jeg kunnet skydde ham bedre I så fall? Eller var det at jeg ikke elsket ham tilrekkelig, som gjorde at jeg ble svårt sjuk? Var det derfor som de der menneskeeterne, som man kalte dem, var det derfor som det gikk så forferdelig ille for oss?
Out of the Wolf was very personal for me, but I was very happy doing it because, again, maybe I didn't understand everything in the movie at that time, but neither did the person I played. I was not met by demons. I didn't wake up at 3 o'clock at night feeling the world was frightening. I wasn't filled of fear or anything. I was, as a matter of fact, in a very harmonic time of my life. I was expecting a baby with the man I loved. And I felt so much at peace. Lynn, as a matter of fact, was born before the movie was finished. I went back to Norway and gave birth, and some of the last scenes that we did, I did with a pillow on my stomach. And although the movie is not at peace, because the person who wrote it is not at peace, and he's always written about this, and the people in the movie, apart from myself, were not at peace, I was at peace, and that was the kind of character I was also showing. And maybe I should have listened to what that movie was telling. If you live with somebody who is not at peace, you yourself might fall out of peace, because that's what almost happened with the woman I'm playing in the movie. And if I'd been listening, I maybe should have taken my baby in my stomach and traveled back to Norway. But I continued the relationship with someone who wasn't so much at peace with the world as I was then. And it changed my life in many ways. But maybe I matured in a different way than I would have if I had taken my part and my baby in my stomach and went back to my home, which was Norway.
My feeling of that God doesn't exist is not a terrifying feeling. It's a feeling of security. It's a feeling of this is Earth, we are here, and the wholeness that exists, but because it exists, is inside us. And it it is a creation of generations of hope, fear, desire, creative mind, prayers, and that still exists in me, and I'm very happy to have it inside. I mean, it's one of the best parts inside me, but some sort of God outside, it's I have left it. It's ridiculous. I can't believe something like that.